Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of you. The idea of Real Estate Award actually was given to us by a gentleman called Dave Leniger. I don't know how many of you know him, but he's been voted as the 50 most powerful people in the world in real estate. He owns a company called Remax. He was there as we were working with NAR and trying to understand a bit about Franchise India is that we are one of the largest, probably the largest solution providers when it comes to small businesses. And so in the micro and the small business space, we were doing a lot of work, and every time any function I do, I end up attracting about 10% brokers. So we were doing mall consulting, and 10% brokers used to fall in. Because real estate was becoming a key point, and the interface between the real estate and the consumer was this broker. So in a small interaction with Dave Leniger, he said that India is a fantastic market but will not change soon. Because the broker will not change soon. And every time I used to, fortunately, meet big developers, they used to feel so reluctant in meeting this broker. So we said, how do we bridge the gap? Because Franchise India is essentially a platform wherein we make large businesses grow with small businesses, and small businesses actually grow because of these large businesses supporting them. So that's simply our business. So we said, how do we structure this thing over a period of 3 to 5 years? Where do we see this change in one of the key sectors, which is real estate? So the answer came, first we need to correct what probably we're not doing right. Second, we need to collaborate. And third, very importantly, we need to consolidate. So if I look at Mumbai, which we've just entered, and everybody said that you're doing the show for the first time, Delhi works very differently, Mumbai works very differently, which is so true. We said, what are the 10 names that come to our mind in Mumbai? So there could be about 100 developers doing business in Mumbai, but there are just about 7 to 10 names that really come to your mind. Soon, what we are sure, this is going to happen in across country. So today, when you go to Bangalore, you still know DLF, which was essentially a Delhi-based developer. We are just contemplating doing a show in Bangalore, and 2 of our partners in Mumbai are actually big operators in Bangalore. So what's going to happen at a national level is that there's going to be a consolidation in terms of developer, because they bring in best practices and they've been able to professionalize the business, and they would be able to scale and grow the business. But what happens to the broker? Is he willing to structure? So we called all the 3 associations which operate, they've supported us, Smart, Area and NAR this morning. And I said, is there one big broker that I can easily endorse? And the answer was no. So while associations are doing a great job, but why isn't there one broker which says, I manage 60% of this market? So there was a very interesting question from the audience for the developers, but I'm really opening the question back to the broker community, and we've got 1 million of them. We've got a large audience to address. And with that one purpose, we started our magazine, which was Estate World. And we said, let's educate, and for once, I want to use the word educate, not network or lobby. Educate a micro SME in the business. And it can only be done, and I'm thankful to the names who've taken time out of their busy schedule to have a talk show, because typically for a real estate award show, talk shows might not be most relevant thing to do, but fact of the matter is that we really wanted to go that next level in terms of creating that interface. While India today is looked at as a many country in one country, but soon it's going to combine to become a one country is what we are trying to emphasize. And soon, very sure, money will follow the talent across industries. That's not the case in India right now. Money follows money. but money would soon follow talent. So we need to address talent in real estate. So these are the key points on which we are debating, and we are trying to capture the consumption growth, like the panelists said. What are the price points on which the market opportunity exists? What is the consumption behavior? All these things are critical for development of any industry, and particularly a sector like real estate, whether it's an urban development at the country level, whether it's a development of a neighborhood, or at a micro level, even developing a multi-use development that many of the prominent developers are doing today. It needs serious amount of consumption and consumption pattern mapping, which would help us create multiple levels of occupancy of that particular development. So lastly, it's all about creating this entire ecosystem from policy to industry to micro SME to the consumer. We want to link it all. A bit about Franchise India. We're about 15-year-old company operating in 16 territories in India as our offices. About 450 people. We touch about 1 million SMEs every year. We're only second to the government in terms of empowering the small business and MSMEs. And we feel that in 4 key sectors which we operate in, which is franchising, which is the channel development format, small businesses and entrepreneurship, retail and real estate, we probably are the largest players in terms of the media space. And we feel that we've just started in terms of enabling this small business, which should grow into a big business, and empower this large businesses to grow further. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the evening, and thank you for your presence.